Hi, my name is Nick Leland, and this is a fake movie poster that I made completely from scratch using Canva Pro. Now, for those that don't know, Canva is a web-based graphic designing software that also has desktop versions that are available on Mac and Windows, as well as mobile app versions that are available on iOS and Android. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to make a poster just like this one, step by step using the software. And be sure to stay tuned till the end of the video, where I'm going to be discussing my two main ways to find inspiration for practice work for your portfolio. Okay, so now that we've logged into Canva and we have it open, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our design started. So for that, you have the option to either click on Create a Design, and it automatically pulls up different size options for you to choose from for posters, for YouTube thumbnails, for a banner. But for me, I like to personally sometimes create my own custom size. So in terms of a poster, we're going to go by 8 for the width and the height 11 inches. Then click on New Design. We just give it a minute. And it's pulled up the shape that we're going to use for this. So for the sake of this video, we're just going to call this Practice Poster. And now that that's done, we can go to the elements to select some things to use for the foreground, the background, and anything else we can use in the video, poster. Okay, so I think I'm gonna select on this photo of an evening sky with a full moon, for example. Now, one thing you can do is you have options on how to apply this to the background. So you can either click on Set Image as Background, and it automatically applies it. But what I like to do is detach it quickly, is just drag it out until it fits the look that I'm going for. So I'm just going to drag it about here, almost. Now we can drag it down, and there, as you can see, the photo is ready for the background. And to edit the photo, we click on the self-titled option, and as you can see, when we go to adjust, we have the option to select either the whole image to edit, or we can select the foreground or the background. Now for me, since we're doing a black and white poster, the first thing we're going to do is desaturate it entirely, and then we're going to tone down the brightness of this photo, and then we're going to turn up the shadows and highlights of it in order to make sure that the moon has that extra glow. I don't know, whatever other word you want to use. And then the vignettes, which basically just darkens the background, so again, that the moon is able to stand out. To do that a little more, we can click on foreground and do the same thing with the highlights and shadows, boost a little bit. And so far, I'd say this photo looks pretty good. Next thing we're going to do is go back to the original used and select a countryside photo to go with. Now, you're going to see there's a problem as the background clearly doesn't match. But thankfully, since we have the Pro plan, we're going to select on the background remover, press it quickly, and what do you know? It's removed it. Very well, I would like to say. So now we're just going to drag this upwards until it is at, a size we're happy with, just a little more. And I'd say that's pretty good. And we're going to do the same thing we did with the first photo, which is desaturate it, and then we're going to tone down the brightness, turn up the vignettes, and then turn up the shadows, highlights, maybe turn on the shadows just a little bit, maybe add some contrast too, let's say 30. And yeah, I'd say it looks like a pretty good so far. Now we're going to select our lovely vampire. Do the exact same thing once more. Background remover, and then one fun thing I like you can do is you can go up here with position, and you can move the layers around to your liking. So you're going to click the vampire image, move it backward, and then get to edit in it. Once again, desaturate, turn down brightness, and then you know what I'm going to say. This is probably the 4th time I've said this. This is going to be fun editing.
You have no idea.
Now, to just make her look a little bit more spooky though, we also have the option to turn on the transparency. So we're going to turn down to about 50%. And then one thing you can do is, what I did with the first one was add a shadow. So to do that, we're just going to type in shadow and then go into the graphics to find an element that works. I like this one. Now, we're going to drag the shadow over the countryside, again, just to add a little bit more mystery to it. And there we go. So far, so good. And the last thing we're going to do is add some text. So click on the button. And then we're going to add subheading for the top right now. And we're going to just quickly type a short film by Nick Leland. And now that that's typed, we can reselect this. Go up here and select different fonts. But you'll see quickly is just like the elements and everything else, there are plenty of free fonts to choose, but with the Pro plan, you can unlock a lot more fonts to choose with. For now, we're going to go with the Balena, however that's pronounced, font. Have it like this. And I think it looks pretty good. Now to just create the main title, The Vampire of Gloria Street. So first off, we're going to select this, use the command shortcut, Command C or Control C if you're on Windows. Use that, then Command or Control V, press that, drag that down here, then type out the vampire, come on, I can spell, Vampire of Gloria Street. Now move that down, and then we're going to resize this to about 100. Move that back up, and then I think I'm going to change the fonts a little bit, so I'm going to click on Gothic to find a more Gothic tone for this kind of video. Click on, however this is pronounced, Celadine, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, that's a little too big. Let's tone it down to about 80. And we're good. Now, another thing you can do quickly that I'll show is you can go up into the effects and add different things like a shadow, a lift, outline it. For me, we're going to use the shadow. Change the shadow to a different color. You have other options like solid colors, or you can adjust the color to one that's your fitting. For the purposes of this, we're just going to choose black, and then we're going to make it blurry so that it stands out a little bit more. Turn up the transparency, and then we can change the direction of it. And as you can see, the poster is pretty much complete. Now, the last thing to do in this case is go up to share and then click on download. Now, you have the option to download this as either a PNG, JPEG, or a PDF. For me, we're just going to go with the PNG for now, and we just wait until it's completely downloaded, and I will point out once it's downloaded, you have the option to save it wherever. So as you can see, I'm going to save it in my downloads section. Quickly scroll here, and what do you know? Our practice poster is complete.
Now, as I said at the start of the video, we are now going to go over my two main methods of finding inspiration for practice work. So my first method of finding inspiration for practice work is taking the name of a song or a phrase that comes to my head and trying to recreate it as a movie poster. So for example, the name of this poster, The Vampire of Gloria Street, is based off of the song Vampires of Gloria Street from the K-Leaf Sisters band off of their most recent album 13, to which if you haven't checked out, I highly recommend, and I'll have a link in the description for you to check out. And my second method is making posters for movies that I'm already a fan of. So as you saw with my B-roll, a lot of my practice posters are those of Universal monster movies, as well as other movies I'm a fan of in general. So again, it all comes down to taking something that you're already a fan of or an idea that you have and seeing how you can recreate it as concept art in a way. Before I go, I know this video is a little different from my normal movie content, so if you enjoyed it, thank you. I'm really glad you did. Please be sure to hit the thumbs up button if you did. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, be sure to let me know that in the comments below. And also be sure to subscribe to not miss out on those potential videos in the future. And until next time, my name is Jake Leland. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope you have a great day.